What could you tell us about your music for someone who's never heard your music before?
Well, I'm very inspired by the 60s and the 70s rock and roll, the blues and the psychedelic. I do a mix of all of that, but at the end of the day, it's only rock and roll.
We're here in Hollywood, California. Who are we here with, man?
Well, I'm Johnny Nasty Boots, and it's a pleasure of being here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're visiting you here at a really nice place.
Thank you.
What could you say about this area, about this community, Hollywood? How's it been for you?
Well, I have been living here in this specific area of Los Angeles for about 2 years, and it's Hollywood, man. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of craziness outside. It's nice because I can go like to a lot of places by walking, but there's always something happening, and that's interesting.
Yeah, I was coming down because I live in Huntington Park. Have you been to Huntington Park?
Oh yeah. I used to work there. I used to rehearse at a studio called Black Noise. Shout out to
Noise.
Francisco.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It's nice out there.
Black Noise, yeah. But I was going down Huntington Park and going there from all the way to here, just taking the streets and I saw that there was like there was a sign that said there might be traffic today because the Dodgers are playing. You ever run into that? Like there's hella traffic down the street?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's sometimes kind of, a lot of traffic there.
Mm-hmm.
We have Vine,
Yeah.
and there's this other one, Cahuenga, and what's the other one that it's always like very busy?
But there's always venues also right here. There's like everything is around here too, huh?
Yeah, that's quite nice. Like literally, sometimes if I have a show, I just go by walking, and that's like really easy to,
Yeah.
come back here at 2, 3 a.m. Yeah.
For sure. Hey man, Johnny Nasty Boots, man. What could you tell us about your musician from originally from Mexico City?
Yeah.
What could you tell us about your music for someone who's never heard your music before?
Well, I'm very inspired by the 60s and the 70s rock and roll, the blues and the psychedelic. I do a mix of all of that, but at the end of the day, it's only rock and roll.
Yeah. You mentioned the blues.
Yeah.
And I know before you started playing rock and roll, you were playing blues music, right?
Yeah, that was a while ago. I was like literally just grabbing my guitar and singing kind of like Delta blues, that it's from the 30s and the 40s, Robert Johnson, Mississippi Fred McDowell. And it's still there, all that influence, it's still there. Those are the roots. Those are the roots of a lot of different music, and especially for rock and roll.
Yeah. How did you get into that? How did you specifically get into the blues?
I think I have listened to blues my whole life because my dad, he loves the blues. He plays harmonica. Actually, I have a song called Bulldog Blues that the harmonica, it's played by him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So your dad is featured on the song.
Yeah, he is.
How was that working with your dad?
It's amazing. It's like a very cool connection. Some like we don't go out and play football. We go out and play blues.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Speaking of that connection with your dad and roots, I know that at one point you were also making music with from Veracruz, right? The Jarocha music.
Oh yeah. That's how I started with music. I was playing Jarana, that it's
Jarana.
an instrument similar to the ukulele. Same tuning, by the way. I moved from Mexico City to a small town called Santiago Tuxtla, Veracruz. And at that time, I was wanting to play bass.
Oh, yeah.
So I asked my dad, hey, I want to get into music. I want to learn how to play bass. And what he told me was like, okay, yeah, absolutely. I'll get you a bass once we get some money for that. But there's a jarana over there. You can go to the taller comunitario, that it's like the community
center, like a
Yeah, community
center.
center. And he was like, you're gonna meet some people from your age, and you're gonna make some friends because we just moved here, and it's always good to learn another instrument. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I played some Jarocho music for about 3 years straight, something like that.
Wow.
I went to the radio when I was very, very young. I did my first tour playing son jarocho.
Oh, wow.
When I was like 13 or 14. I don't remember. It was a while ago. So it was a great experience, you know.
Yeah. Were you mentioned going on the radio and touring? Was there like a song? Was it with the group or was it with like solo that you played?
Which one? Sorry.
The music from Veracruz. What was it with the group that you played with?
Well, it was like part of the professor that was running the group. He invited me to his band. You know, he got this band with his kids. You know, because it's like that music. It's very like family music. You know, it's tradition. So first I was being part of the whole school group, and later he invited me and another friend, Victor, that he's still playing son jarocho. He does it professionally. So that was quite nice, you know, like being invited by the master.
No.
So I was playing with him. Then I was playing with another group. I play with different groups, and also playing son jarocho. It's just about, it's a jam. Like literally, I was playing with a lot of people, and it's really, really interesting.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me? It reminds me kind of like folklorico. Like they do the same thing where it's kind of traditional, and like you go under like a teacher, and then you tour around with the specific company and stuff like that. But I want to ask you: has there been like things from that type of music that you've contributed to the music you make now?
I think not directly, but at the end, I feel like it's part of my formation as a musician. It's really interesting because the other day I was talking with a friend from Colombia that I just met, and I start, you know, just like what are we doing right now, just talking about our roots. And I told him, hey, I used to play son jarocho, and he was like, oh, that makes sense. He was like, all the people that play folk music, you know, like music to make you dance, because, you know, back in the day, all the folk music was like very, very connected with dance. So that was really, really nice, because I feel like I had like this, without being obvious, but having the, you know, the roots of the son jarocho.
Yeah, the influence for sure. You know, you mentioned growing up playing with your dad. Do you come from a musical family?
Not really. Well, I have like cousins that play music, but not like directly. My mom used to play guitar. That's what another story. My dad told me that my mom tend to lullaby me with music, like from "Baby I'm Gonna Leave You" by Led Zeppelin. You know, that's amazing. It's out of the ordinary. My dad, he plays harmonica. He plays a little bit guitar, just like by a hobby. But he's primarily a plastic artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a painter.
Oh, right on. So you come from an artistic family. Yeah, that's awesome. You know, you mentioned you're from Mexico City, and if there's one thing I know about Mexico City is like that's the one place where a bunch of different cultures, different places of Mexico all come together, right?
Oh yeah.
So your family's from Veracruz, or
no? My dad is from Estado de Mexico.
El Estado. Okay, yeah.
Mostly living his whole life in Mexico City.
Yeah.
And my mom is from Mexico City as well, but she born in Tampico.
Okay.
But she moved at some point. So
Yeah.
I still have family in Tampico, Tamaulipas.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, I spent most of my early years in Mexico City, and then I moved to Veracruz when I was 11, and then I come back to Mexico City. Yeah.
Okay, cool. How does Mexico City specifically influence the music you make? Just because I know if there's one thing about Mexico City, I mean, we cover a lot of cumbias and a lot of sonideros on our channel, but also I know there's a lot of like rock influence as well right there happening in rock music happening in Mexico City. But in what way has it influenced you, the city?
Uh, I don't know. Let me think a little bit
Did you
about
did you
that.
did you grow up playing with friends in bands like rock music?
Yeah, like since I start music, I started with the song Jarocha when I was really young, and since then I haven't stopped. It was like moving back to Mexico City, and a friend invited me to his band when I was around, I think 14, 15. They were like 20 something, so I was the youngest one.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I did another band with him. It was called Línea Tres. So, well, that's an influence, We call the band Línea Tres because of the metro.
Yeah.
We used to live really close to a station of the Línea Tres, so that was like, our greatest name. And yeah, I play with a lot of people, but I was mostly doing like original music since the beginning.
Okay. Yeah. Was there an album for you that you feel was very transformative, impactful in the way you look at music growing up?
Yeah, I think the first album of Gorillaz was like very. There was a breaking point,
Mm-hmm.
That was literally the first band that I really enjoyed was Gorillaz, and that's why I was wanting to play bass.
Mm-hmm.
So that album I feel like has been part of my DNA now.
Yeah, for sure. I know at one point, you had a big song in Mexico, right? Could you tell us about that time of your life, how it was creating that music when you were living in Mexico?
Yeah, so I have this number one song of the year in a station called Reactor 105.7 FM. That was really, really interesting, really, really crazy, because I remember like literally when I was 15, 16, like literally going to the radio station, to that specific radio station, and being like, hey, can you play my music? And hey, notice me. And we were not like, they were not very supportive with that band. So 8 years after that, having a number one on that radio station was like, wow, that's a lot of growth, So it was very, very important for me. It was I feel proud of that.
Yeah.
I remember literally this song is called Deadline.
Okay.
And I remember start creating the lyrics when I was washing the dishes one day, literally. So that was quite nice how the song was growing and taking his own path,
Yeah.
I feel like I was only the antenna to bring it from the frequencies.
For sure. What do you think made that song so popular?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I just feel like people enjoy it and they like it. It's like, damn, it's rock and roll,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of rock music in Mexico City, but I don't think like this kind of rock music, the way it's produced, the way it's interpreted.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of that, and I believe that make a huge impact on the radio station.
Yeah, for sure. When I listen to your music, I think a lot about the energy and how important energy is into not only making it, but also, performing it, right?
Yeah.
What do you do to prepare when you perform your music?
Well, I try to relax a little bit. Like
Okay.
specifically if it's before a show,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a lot of energy. There's gonna be a lot of sweat.
Yeah, yeah.
For real, I finish every show like if I took a shower
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
with clothes. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So I like to relax a little bit. I like to actually go and see if there's openers. I enjoy seeing the openers, right? Talking to people, like I like to get the energy of the place and kind of like scan the vibe.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's like food
Yeah,
before
for
before
sure.
preparing. I don't like to eat.
Okay.
That's part of the preparation. I don't like to eat. Just makes me heavy. After that, I will eat like everything.
For sure. You know, I've heard and I read that you came to LA in 2022.
Yeah.
So it's been 2 years since you've been 3 years. I mean, it could be 3 years, right?
Yeah.
But what was your perception of LA before you came, and has that changed since living here?
I had the opportunity of coming here first in 2017 and then in 2019. And I think the perception has not changed a lot. Just it's very, now I see it like normal, everything. The first time I came here was like, oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that venue, and look the guitar center. Oh my God, we don't have stuff like that in Mexico. It's insane. The record shops and I feel like everything it's right here. You have everything is accessible. That's the main difference with Mexico City. So I don't feel like it changed a lot. But I feel more comfortable of being here. Like
Yeah.
I'm more. Everything is more part of my environment, kind of.
Yeah. No, for sure. Does this influence the music you make? Does it change the music you were making from Mexico and now that you're here?
Yeah, absolutely. Even that, a lot of, for example, I record my new EP, Self Portrait, here in Echo Park.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those songs were already songs that I started reading and composing back in Mexico City. And I was wanting to record that music way back, since probably 2019, 18. I was wanting to record some of those songs, but it's funny because I start reworking some of those songs here, even with the lyrics, So I feel like even that I start working it in Mexico City, finishing those songs here was like, it just makes more sense. The lyrics feels like sometimes I was talking about the future.
Okay.
It's funny because analyzing now those lyrics, it's like, oh my gosh, this is actually stuff that happened to me here.
Yeah.
So I was,
Yeah.
like having kind of that vision of those experience and those stories, and here it just became reality.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. That's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
And yeah, I have wrote a lot of new music here that has been influenced by the sounds of the city, the people, the experience. So it has been influenced me a lot.
Do knowing that and seeing that come true, does that make you be more careful about your lyrics, or does that change your approach of being like, man, maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't know, or like maybe I should say this because that's what I want?
Yeah, I with everything I do, it's very real. I like to put it out there. Like if it's happening, it's happening, and I don't like to to use makeup. You know, like I like it to be raw and direct. So yeah, no, I don't think I will be careful in the future. If some idea I feel it's good, it's gonna be there no matter what.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I saw you recently put out this song called "Lovers on the Road,"
Yeah.
right? What could you tell us about that song? This is your most recent single, right?
Yeah, it just came out 2 weeks ago from today. um, this is literally one of my oldest songs.
Oh wow, okay.
So that's cool. Like seeing the song out there with the video, and especially the good response has been really cool. I think they're coming for me. Sorry. That's one of the things that I was telling you about Hollywood. You know, there's always something.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But that was one of your oldest songs.
Yeah. So that song, I started writing it after my first big tour in Mexico. So, you know, being out in the road, meeting a lot of people, that was like a lot of what influenced the composition of the lyrics.
Oh, okay, right on.
And music-wise, it's, you know, that feeling of being out and having this kind of adventure and the feeling of you don't really know what's going to happen. So you better do it perfectly. You better do it with passion. You better do it like if there's not going to be no tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's the main energy of the song.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and when I heard that song, and when I think of your music, like you mentioned earlier, like a lot of your influence being like the 60s and 70s. How does that look like for you making music like that in this time period, right? Because there's a lot of types of rock music, right? And there's a lot of types of pop music and hip hop music. But what has been your experience like creating that sound in this moment?
Well, I love rock and roll music, right? So to me, making this music and with this sound, it's just about, as a rock music lover, every time I you know, this is like the check, it vibes or it doesn't vibe. I try to listen to the song, to the music, not as a creator, more like as a rock lover. You know, like, okay, if I would be somebody else, and this will be playing on the Spotify or whatever, I will be vibing with it. So that's, you know, that's how I decide if it's going to the right direction or if it's just not vibing, you know?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You know, it reminds me a lot of like music that comes here is like Sheer Mag. Have you heard of Sheer Mag?
No.
Sheer Mag, yeah, they're really good. But yeah, it's kind of I think a bit of that kind of music. But I want to ask you, have you found your music community here in Los Angeles? Yeah. And how were you able to find that?
Just by playing, you know. First 6 months I was here, I played 30 shows in 6 months.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's a lot, you
Busy,
know.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in Mexico, that was the amount of shows I was playing in a good year. You know, like, oh my gosh, this was an amazing year. I played 25 shows, yeah. And here it's like, oh my God, 30 shows in 6 months was intense. Last year, I played 57 shows. That was really insane. It was exhausting, but it was amazing. So I feel like that community has been built by playing live, you know, like putting myself out there and being like, hey, this is rock and roll. And I think there's other music, you know, that can I mean, I promote my music as well, like heavily on Instagram and TikTok and all those outlets. But I feel like with rock music, people want to see it at live. People want to feel the energy, to sweat, you know, to grab a drink and smoke a joint or something like that. It's that energy. So I think that people resonates a lot more when rock music is being played live.
For sure, for sure. Hey man, last question. For people who've never heard your music, what can they expect? What could you tell them about your music and from your live shows? What can they expect?
Well, it's a very energetic show. There's a lot of impro, impro and jam. I really like to play when I'm playing, right? So if a song maybe on the official recording it's like 4 minutes, maybe it's gonna be 10. You know, like you never
improvise.
know.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, one of the magical experience of the Johnny Nasty Boots show. It's that you never know what's gonna happen, and I think that make every show very, very special and very magical, and also special for me, because at the end of the day, I play for myself. I play because I love to play guitar, I love to sing, I love to perform, and I can really channel that energy to other people. If I'm happy, they're gonna be happy. So people can expect an authentic rock and roll show.
Yeah. Actually, you just said something that I want to ask about. You said you play music for you. Do you feel like music's helped you in many ways?
In every way, man. Like literally, music to me, it's everything. It's has helped me to survive here. The first 6 months that I was here, the first year was tough, man. Like moving to another country was tough, and the thing that I was holding to it to don't going crazy was music. In my darkest moments, music was there for me. In my brightest moments, music was there for me. And I have met incredible people through music. I met my wife through music. I have met friends through music. So music has given me everything, like for real. I have been capable of traveling. At this point, I can say like the world, because music has gave me that opportunity. So I'm just very, very happy and thankful with life and with music.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, man, if you want to check out Johnny Nasty Boots, check him out on Instagram. Check out a show. He'll be here all over LA. And expect the energy, right?
Oh yeah, energy, rock and roll, and a good time. That's for sure.
Right on. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.